They say knowledge is power, and just look at how many people use their computers and the internet to prove that's true. So it may seem a little quaint that the printing press was in its day the key to spreading knowledge through the printed word. The Cincinnati Type and Print Museum and the technology on display show how Cincinnati was actually on the cutting edge of a technology that forever changed humanity. So let's take a tour.
So welcome to the Cincinnati Type and Print Museum. This is my passion. This is what I believe I was called to do with my life. I believe my first 3 quarters of my life was to get me ready for my 4th quarter and do the work that I'm doing here. The museum has 3 purposes. 1, to preserve the history of printing in Cincinnati and realize printing is huge in Cincinnati. We at one time were the 2nd largest printer in the world. The second purpose is to be a place for artists to come and truly enjoy letterpress printing and truly enjoy the art of creating images by woodcuts and with different types and so forth. And third, and the most important part of all, we are partners with Block Ministries, and our goal is to help women who are heroin addicts to break that cycle and to get back in society as a good citizen by doing a variety of things. And one, coming to work for us, getting paid, making a little bit of a living, and then going on to work for somebody in the industry.
So one of our goals is to bring awareness to the modern printing industry by talking about its history. And that might inspire someone to come into the industry and maybe choose that as a career path. My career path is the museum field, but it's interesting to see what most people think of as a dead historic industry that is still very much alive, and trying to encourage people to think about that in a different way.
A lot of people think with technology and with digital technology that we don't need print anymore, and that's just a false belief. That is just a false belief. Print surrounds you and you don't even know it. If you're sitting at your table, it probably has a Formica countertop of some type, and that is a press sheet. The wallpaper on your wall, that's a press sheet. The pictures on your wall, that's a press sheet. You have paper in your pocket, you have a wallet, you have a credit card. All those things are printed.
So based on the purpose of this museum, we are a fully functioning museum. So we are not a velvet ropes, thou shalt not touch museum. But one of the best ways to learn something is to teach it. So one of the things that's been very helpful to me is actually working with the ladies in the Redeem program, working with artists that come in and helping them figure out ways to do things differently and trying to think through it. And some things we may not do 100% the way they did it 100 years ago, but we are teaching historic techniques using historic equipment.
When you come to the museum, you will learn about printing, but you're also going to learn about the history of this city and how this city's base was founded on a strong printing center. Somewhere along your path, you might go down to the airport and you'll see these 12 murals that represent the industries of the 18th and the 19th centuries. 3 of those are dedicated to the printing industry, which shows you how strong the printing industry was. The printing industry made this city big, so really it's also in the 19th century, we have presidents and politicians who are ruling this country came from Cincinnati. And it was the printing industry that gave them a place to actually be able to do all this stuff. So printing will always be a passion of mine. I think you're crazy if you don't go into the printing industry and give it some thought. And if you ever want to go to the printing industry, contact us and we'll be happy to help you on that course.